Hey guys, Welsknight here, bringing you another brand new episode in my Lord of the Rings online Beorning Let's Play. And as you can see, we are in a very different spot than where we left off last episode. We are in Annuminas. And I have a confession to make. I recorded an episode in between this one and the last one. It involved going to Rivendell to pick up the books that were used for the Beorning Class quest. And then coming to Annuminas. And unfortunately, what happened is that for some reason, that video had no recorded audio. So I decided to go ahead and scrap the episode and just re-record, basically. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on some quests here in the Annuminas area. The books for the legendary quests, you get those from Bilbo Baggins in Rivendell. He's in the last homely hall in the, I believe it's called the Hall of Fire, if I remember correctly. But what we're going to be doing here in Annuminas is working on some of these other quests. Orchalwe is a companion we can summon. You may recognize him as the guy from Tinudir. And he gives you a whole bunch of different quests as you move through Annuminas. And there's a few other ones as well for defeating Angmarim. And, this is not a fight we want to be in. Actually, let's give it a go. Orchalwe is fully capable of healing you, so I might be able to kind of power through this, but this is really not a fight that is going to be a good matchup for me. In fact, it's probably going to be a pretty lousy one, so we probably don't want to get stuck in this fight, but I mean, I guess we'll kind of make do. We'll play the cards that were dealt, let's put it that way. I think between our healing skills and between Orchalwe's healing skills, we can power through this without too much difficulty. We should be okay. Let's go ahead. Actually, Relentless Maul is not a great skill to use in this situation. I don't know why I'm using that. We'll just thrash this Elder Warrior to death. There we go. But this is not a place that we want to be. So, we're going to move from this area. Let's actually just mount up. It's probably easier to do that. And we'll kind of head off in this general direction. And start working on some of these other areas. Now, Orchalwe gives you a pretty wide variety of different quests as you move throughout this region. We're probably not going to have time to cover all of them in this episode, but we'll cover as many as we can. So this is the main Annuminas camp, which is Echad Garthadir, or Echad. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that word, but regardless, if you head over this way and summon Orchalwe, oh, he's already summoned, he's with us, he will grant you a couple more quests once you get down a little bit farther down into that area. There's a quest that you can pick up right there from him. And we will do so as soon as we get down there. In the meantime, we've got some Angmarim to deal with, which work towards some larger quests. There's a quest for killing 40 Angmarim and 10, this is another word I'm going to butcher, Gartharig, which are basically giant, ugly troll-looking things. Anyway, there's an overarching quest for killing those, and then also for getting all 6 of the ranger flags from the various monuments of Angmar, which are spread throughout this whole area. We also have a separate quest to search these hidden caches and find weapons and supplies and things. So here we need to find the names etched on the pillars. There are 7 of them. You can see them all flashing and glowing. Pretty easy quest, honestly. And once again, just like most of Evendim, this is a great little quest line because it's fairly quick. You get a pretty good amount of experience for it, and all the quests are concentrated in a fairly small area. And especially considering that the quest giver actually comes along with you, so you can turn them in instantly. These are basically a couple of various different quests. They're a set of quests that you can power through pretty quickly and get a nice fair amount of experience from. So that is basically what our goal is going to be here. Let's sneak over here and gather some of these other pillars. It would be great if we could avoid getting in combat again, just so we could finish these out quickly. We've got 5. We have 6. And we have 7. And I apologize, I seem to be losing my voice. I just finished recording the StudTech episode that went up today as well. And I don't know what it is, but my voice seems to be leaving me. So, sorry if my voice sounds a little bit gravelly and different than normal. Let's come on over this way. There's another quest that Orchalwe will give us once we hit this island right up in here. We do have a little bit of swimming to do, which is very true to the original nickname that players gave to Evendim, which was Ever Swim. Because when Evendim was originally released, there were no boats for traveling across lakes. It was just swimming. And there was a lot of swimming involved, so Evendim was nicknamed Ever Swim, and it was kind of an area that most players avoided because it was tedious. The quests were not concentrated. There was a lot of mindless swimming and traveling involved. There we go. We have a quest. Sunken Urns. Not sure where we find those. I guess they're all within this area? Supposedly? I don't know. Oh, okay. You can start to see them now. Chilling down here. All the way at the bottom. Luckily the names are there, because if the names weren't, we would never find them. We would not be able to see them at all. But there's one. There's another over here. So that will give us 4 of 6. The other nice thing about Orchalwe is that if he dies, you can just resummon him. So he can basically act as a little kind of a tank for you. And he's not a terrible fighter. There we go. That should be our last urn that we need that's sunk at the bottom of the sea. And then we can turn that in right away. Look at how much experience that got us. That got us a pretty good chunk, I must say. Floaty names. We want floaty names on. We do not want to leave those off or we'll never find anything. Let's continue over this way. There we go. Try and scout over to this island. There's some more quests over here that we can handle. And we've got 10 of our 40 Angmarim, 0 of our Girtharig. So we'll have to work on those. But Orchalwe is going to give us another quest to rescue tortured prisoners, 3 of them that are at the docks in this little area. The docks are kind of over here, if I remember correctly. Oh, there's another hidden cache we can check for supplies. And that one's already been looted. So we'll have to look for different caches, it appears, but that's alright. This is one of the monuments to Angmar, where we gather the banners. So let's grab this quick. And that basically just hangs a ranger flag from it, which is... think of it like a... think of it as a taunt. It's our way of saying, haha, we win, and you don't. I guess we're liberating the island and showing our strength by hanging up our banner from those areas. Now, the prisoners that we need to rescue are found in the water over here. And over here on this side. But we'll have to fight our way through a bunch of Angmarim before we can really rescue them properly. And there's plenty of Angmarim to hold up our progress a little bit. So let's deal with these guys as we go along here. There we go. Couple more over here. We may shift into bear form in a minute. We'll find out. We should be able to handle these guys pretty easily, honestly, because Orchalwe is capable of healing us, and he actually has a pretty decent heal. So we should be able to fight through these guys without too much too much difficulty. We've got the support from Orchalwe to kind of make things a little easier on us. And our bear form is still just as powerful as always. Let's drop our healing skill. Looks like our health is getting a little bit low. Well, you can see we got a prisoner here, and then there's another one over on that side. So we will free this one. There we go, he's free. We can summon this guy and hit him with a ranged bee swarm. That reminds me, one of you guys had mentioned that I should invest in some hand axes so that I would have a ranged weapon. And it's just not something that I'm going to do because, first of all, I don't really use ranged very often. I don't have skills for it, so the damage is extremely low. The only thing that I would really use a ranged attack for would be a ranged pull, and for that, I've got this bee swarm skill, which works just fine. So I'm perfectly fine with saying that. I'm not going to bother with hand axes. I don't want to spend the money on them. I don't want to bother to craft them. And I don't want them taking up spaces in my inventory. I just wouldn't ever use them. So it seems like a little bit of a waste to me. It'd be one thing if I didn't have any ranged skills whatsoever, but I've got Bee Swarm, which is a ranged attack. And it works just fine for what I need it for. The only thing, as I said, the only thing that I would use a ranged attack for is a ranged pull anyway. Let's go ahead and finish these guys off so we can rescue our last prisoner. There we go. And there is another quest in the bags. We can turn it in right away. Let's choose the health potion, since power potions, of course, don't do any good for us. Oh, keep those on. What's time of need? Oh, that's the hidden caches quest. Which means there should be another one right over here somewhere. There it is. Let's check this one out and see if there's anything good in here. There we go. We got some supplies out of that one. It's a random warden just sitting there, just chilling, I guess. You know, whatever, to each his own. Let's head into the water and start swimming over this way. We'll have some quests and things over here that we need to do as well. We'll just kind of sneak over here. And we do have a fair amount of these quests completed, which is good. Let's see, there's Orchalwe with another quest. Defeat Angmarim lookouts. Those are actually these guys in the water here. So let's take care of them. We need 4 to finish this particular quest. Get us a little bit more experience. There's one. There's another up here. We'll hit him with our range skill so we can start getting some damage in. And the weird thing is I can hit him from all the way down here in the water. Don't ask me why that works that way, but it does. And there's another up here. And we can deal with him by kind of jumping up this way. Maybe. There we go. We can come up here and take him out. And then our last one will be right over there. So he is dealt with. Next one over here. We'll use our Bee Swarm skill so we can start getting damage on him from a range. And then we'll go ahead and finish him off with some basic attacks. There we go. That's 4. Talk to Orchalwe. Turn it in. Gain a nice little chunk of experience. And then we'll come up here and we've got several more quests in Annuminas to finish off, but we are pretty much out of time for this episode, guys. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I really do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time. And let's, there's some nasty critters over here. Let's avoid those. See what we can find. We've got... Oh, here we go. Finally got ourselves some limestone chunks. And also the...